everyone, it's Mara Allard. And as I've talked about, and you've probably heard from everyone on the planet, is that it is the Chinese New Year of the Year of the Horse, a galloping, blazing fire horse, where we're all going to be propelled forward, and it's exciting and no more shedding. And yet here we are the next day and we're like, okay, what's happening? Nothing's moving. Or maybe it is, but I pulled a card for myself yesterday, and a tarot card. So I was like, maybe I'll get the Chariot with the horses moving forward. What great card am I going to get? And I pulled the Hermit. The little hermit with the lantern. Wah wah. Along with my desert card that I got earlier this year and my camel. I'm like, why aren't we going fast forward? It doesn't mean we're not. Each of us are on our own individual journey. And yet we look outward and we want to see everything going forward in a good way. But what if that journey is a fast forward inward journey? What if my message, which is screaming at me this year, is you're going to have the ability to go deeper than you ever have. You're going to be able to excavate more than you ever thought. You're going to learn more about yourself and get rid of all those nagging things at you that you always are criticizing about yourself, or all those nagging habits, or whatever it is. Maybe the dive this year is a fast forward dive inward. Maybe it's just one of those years that you'll be able to clear away the inner noise faster than you've ever been able to in the past. That's what I had to sit with when I looked at that hermit. I'm like, hermits don't go fast. Hermits aren't blazing their own trails. Hermits live in a cave. Dear God, what am I going to do on my desert on a camel with a hermit in a cave? But everything's telling me that the journey this year is inward. The fast-moving journey I will take on the camel will probably be deeper. I think that that's what the message for me is. This will be a deeper inward year than it will be outward. And when I was thinking about this, it made me sad. And I asked myself, why am I sad? Because we're performance driven. Society wants us to be performing. Society wants us to be out there, showing up. I think that's really it, showing up. But showing up for everyone looks different. How I show up is not how you're going to show up. And when we try to attach our vision or our version of what showing up looks like to somebody else or to something else, it lowers our energy. When I accept that my journey this year is going to be more of an inward journey that may result in the future in an outward, because I did the work inward, I get to go outward more, my energy raises. Because I don't resist it. Anything we're resisting drains our energy. So even though this is the year of the horse, this is also my year of going inward. And what that looks like, I'm not sure yet. That's another thing. We feel like the horse arrives and that the vision is just the Red Sea is parted and we're like, here we go. But that's not how it always works. For some it may. But we're just getting started. We have to get momentum. So we sit and wait, for many of us, wondering what's going to happen till the idea drops in. For me, I know that it's going to be releasing performance, releasing wondering why I'm not getting this great new hit to do something else. And that when I go inward and listen to what my soul wants, I would be lying if I haven't said that I've been on this desire to find out I had this conversation actually with a friend. She's in the same place. What is true joy for me? What is true joy? Not happiness. Happiness is different. I can be happy chopping vegetables, making a meal. I can be happy at the supermarket or the post office. I can be happy in a lot of places, or content. Like sometimes content to me is happy. But joy When was the last time I felt joy? True joy. Boogie boarding in the beach last year. True joy. Like over the moon joy. I was also really joyful when I heard I was going to be, oh, I can't say that yet on social media. Can't tell you yet. True joy. Just unbridled. That is what I've been chasing all my life. And I don't think I can get that on a consistent basis until I go inward and look at what blocks that. And I can tell you what blocks it. I will do this after I do that. And I'm sure many of you can relate. I will allow myself to have this after I do all these things on the checklist. But the checklist never ends. There's always another thing to do. There always will be another thing to do. I have a checklist right now. It blocks. We have to do things. But does everything on the checklist have to be done? Yes, I have to pay the bills. Yes, we have to have food. Yes, these things need to happen. But do I need to dust the ceiling fans today? Hell no. That's on the list. Delaying gratification of self. That this year is something that I need to unearth. And I'd love to hear, do you delay the gratification of self in order to check off things that you believe are important that will not matter at the end of the day? Or to look busy? Or do you measure your performance by what your output is? Can sitting, reading this book, wintering, be on my checklist? No. Should it be? Yes. I postpone doing things because I worry that I have to get other things that really don't matter done. It's avoiding what will bring me true joy. And I would love to hear if you feel that you do the same things at times or similarly. So, yes, the fire horse is here. Yes, the energy has definitely shifted. I'm having a very hard time sleeping solidly. But my fast forward motion could be inward. Take that so if you don't see, you'll know. You know. Is this the year that you are to bring that project to fruition and go forward and blaze new trails? You'll know. Is this the year you take a class and you learn something new and it feels right and you're going to dive into that? You'll know. This year's energy isn't like wishy-washy. You'll know. I know deep in my heart and soul that this is the year I need to go take a walk in the woods. This is the year I need to float down a river. This is the year I need to nurture myself. This is the year I need to get honest about some things. Where are you this year? The momentum is starting and it will only continue. But right now is the time to ponder where you're going. And we all know in some way if it's outward or inward or in between. But if you're sitting there thinking the world's going to change in a day, it won't. But we take the first step. And the first step is knowing what way to go. Take the class, launch a project, throw out a new idea, start the business, change the job, deep dive into finding your joy, change your friend group. There are so many options, but we all, if we can get quiet, know which one's tugging at us the most. I'd love you to share where you think that little tug is taking you. Have a great day.